It's all about rhubarb today on Pots and Trowels, and that's brought to you with the support of Cobra Garden and Darlac. Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels. Well, I'm in the new vegetable garden at the moment, still not finished, got lots to do, but I'm anxious to get on with some planting so plants have got as long a growing season as possible. So we've still got all the gravel paths to put in, which will happen in the next couple of weeks to form these beds. But this area just here where I'm going to plant the rhubarb, what is underneath what was this big ash tree. This was a huge ash tree. Unfortunately, it had got ash dieback and it was also rotten in the centre, so not safe. So it was taken down in the winter, which has opened up the area which is now the vegetable garden. And this was just a mat of ivy and ground elder and plants that have got out of control. So we've cleared it best we can. I keep finding still the odd bit of ground elder that is trying to fight through. So I'm just forking through it carefully, and if I spot it at that stage, it's really easy to get out. Now, rhubarb is a really lovely crop to grow in the garden. It's a vegetable, of course, but we eat it as a fruit. It's perennial, it's totally hardy. Lots of different varieties, early, mid and late season. And this is an early variety called Timpley Early, which is one of the good ones if you want to force it. That's when you cover it over with a pot, similar to this one here that I've got for decoration. Cover it over late winter and it forces those lovely pink sticks that are really sweet and tender. So we need to do some soil preparation for this, so just pop that there. I've fought through the soil and got rid of all the weed. There's bits of old plant in there, but I'm not worried about that. And this is some of the last of our garden compost that we've got from the old garden that I bagged up, and you can see the leaves still in there. So that is last autumn's compost. So I'm going to plant it here. And the idea of this border around the vegetable garden is it's not going to be a true veg plot. It's going to be a mixture. There's going to be a few vegetables in it. There's going to be some fruit bushes. I've got a rose here that it's a rambler that's going to scramble up this tree stump. I'm going to have a few flowers in. So it's going to have very much a cottage garden feel to it. And of course, rhubarb was a vital thing in a cottage garden. So I'm forking in that compost just to enrich the soil. It will add humus and it will retain moisture in there. And then we can dig the hole. Any bits of roots that I keep discovering I can pick out and we can get rid of those. So nice hole. Now bear in mind this is going to make a clump maybe 18 inch 2 feet across. Certainly when the leaves are on it might be even bigger, but the root will be quite a big area and the path level is going to be here. So I think this will be about the place to put it. So we can see a nice big hole and it's good soil in there as well. I've already forked it through. So hole is dug, bigger than needs to be. And then the last thing I'm going to do is to put a little bit of fertiliser on there. So this is a bit of blood, fish and bone. You can use anything you like, poultry pellets or grow more. Just sprinkle a little bit on the soil and just mix that in a little bit and then we can plant. So need to knock this out the pot carefully. It should be fairly loose, so taking care not to damage it. Now when we plant rhubarb, this piece here, this is called the crown, and we don't want to bury this. This needs to be at soil level. If we cover that over, it will rot. So I think I need just a little bit of soil back in there. And I think that is going to be about right. So I can then just firm that lightly with my hand and then pull a little bit of this soil round, push the label in. I'm going to bury it. I don't want to see it. I'll hopefully remember the name, but just in case I don't. And then just gently firm that in so the soil is in contact with the roots. And it had a good root system. And pull that soil nice and evenly round. So it really is quite simple, but you can see we haven't buried that point. And we can always add a bit of mulch if we are just slightly proud to it, but that is absolutely perfect. I can tidy that round a bit. By the time it's got the board edge in, other planting round, that's going to be great and it will fill this area. And the final thing although this soil is moist, I'm just going to give it a drink. Just like moist soil. Well drained, but moist. It doesn't want to stand in water. So I'm just giving that a good soak. That will settle the soil around it and encourage the roots to grow out into that soil that's got compost and fertiliser in it. And I expect that within 2 or 3 weeks, that will have produced a couple of new leaves on there. But this is the hard bit now. We can't pull any rhubarb off this year. If you do, you severely weaken the plant. What it's going to do is make a really strong root system. They have a big yellow coloured fleshy root, which is their food store. And that's really important that we allow that to build up in the first season. So I'm going to watch it grow. I can dream of rhubarb crumbles, rhubarb falls, but we're not going to be able to pull it until next spring. So for now, it's establishing in the garden. Well, thank you for watching Pots and Trowels, and remember you can watch all the videos that we've done over the past couple of years on YouTube, where you can subscribe for free. Next week we're going to catch up with a specialist grower to get some tricks of the trade, so we'll see you then. Bye.